Gently close your eyes. Your fingers interlace and place in front. Your back, neck and head erect. Your breathing is normal. We will chant the mantra Om followed by the invocatory prayer. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu mavit vishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti. We will chant 10 shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 21 till 30, please. Chapter 4, verses 21 till 30. Nirasheryata cettatma त्यक्ता सर्वपरिग्रहः शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टः द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समः सिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना दैवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति सर्वानीन्द्रियकर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते Dravya yajnastapo yajnaha yoga yajnastatha pare swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yataya samshita vrataha apane juvati pranam prane panam tatha pare pranapanagati ruddhva pranayama parayanaha apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juvati sarvepyete yajnavidaha yajnakshapita kalmashaha. Friends, we have been discussing about cleanliness. So I am going to conclude the topic in this particular session. Probably we would have talked about in 12 sessions. The entire spiritual journey is nothing but that constant cleansing of the inner personality. So we start from the external world by keeping the environment clean, and then we keep the immediate environment clean wherever we are. So when we are talking about the environment clean and the immediate environment clean, the awareness has to be not to throw litter, not to discard eatables, the packaging material. The conscious awareness has to be there that I am throwing the waste material. Then the immediate environment can be taken in terms of how organized you are, keeping the place clean. If you have a desk, the cupboard, how clean you are maintaining the place, how the place is maintained, organized. Even if you want to take a paper, from a particular file, within no time you should take it out. You want to take medicine from a particular, a particular medicine has to be taken, then you should know where it is kept. It's not that everything is piled up. So in that sense, the immediate environment is kept clean. And then the physical body is kept clean. Dirt is, accumulated. Bacteria is all the time there. So you keep the physical body clean by, properly giving bath. How presentable are you? So all this will, come under the purview of the physical body to be kept clean. You don't have to wear flashy clothes. You have to protect yourself from cold. You have to protect yourself from rain, from sunshine. So what is that, the minimum clothing that you require? It need not be expensive one. In Shakespeare's language, in Hamlet, he talks about rich, not gaudy. So you don't have to show yourself, show your, the power of wealth. Not necessary. And then all these are external factors. With reference to yourself, we are coming from the outer world, then moving towards yourself. then what is very important is the spiritual sadhana is nothing but cleansing of the inner personality. See, even the external world, the immediate environment and the physical body is kept clean only because the inner personality, the mind and the intellect wants the external world to be clean. You are not causing maximum damage in terms of global warming, etc. With minimum destruction, minimum harm, how you can live in this world. So as the inner personality, so the outer world also, the outer personality also here. Then what is, see, these are all a little easy to keep the environment clean, the physical body clean. But to attend to one's inner personality is very difficult because we are moving towards a subtler aspect of the personality. So when we're talking about to keep the mind clean, then we have discussed in various sessions in the past, the mind is the seat of likes and dislikes, feelings and emotions, worry and anxiety. You know not what you want. See, these are beautiful, the topics mentioned in The Fall of Human Intellect, written by Swami Parthasarathi. Nothing is mine. It is there. It's all there in the scriptures. It's there in the book written by Swamiji, The Fall of the Human Intellect. There he beautifully talks about how the mind can wreak havoc. So there he mentions all these points there in subtopics. Then he talks about two motivating factors, and this is what we have discussed in the previous session, the last session, Kanchana and Kamini. And now in this session we will be concluding with attachment. So these are the 5-6 aspects of the mind, and all these, if we are able to take care of it, the mind need not be stifled. The mind has to be directed properly, channelized properly. The mind can be compared to a child, and the intellect in us can be compared to the adult. So at home, the child is creating havoc, is very destructive sometimes, aggressive, physically aggressive. When the child is physically aggressive, the mind is aggressive. So running around all the time, effervescing with a lot of action. If there is no supervision, if there is the adult is not taking care of the child can damage the property, the child can harm oneself. If there is an adult, then the child is monitored, supervised, governed, controlled, policed. The child is given the freedom, but the child knows that somebody is watching. The child will behave properly. At times when the child is going overboard, the adult can, channelize the child here in the proper direction. When I say channelize the child properly, means that action is curtailed, the destructive, aggressive action is curtailed, and it is channelized in a constructive way. You give the child some task. The child is now channelizing the energy, focusing on how to complete the task. So in that way, the aggressiveness or the hyperactivity is channelized. Then this can be compared to the mind, which is aggressive. So we said the child is compared to the mind here, or the mind is compared to a child. So when the mind is aggressive, then the intellect in us should direct the mind, channelize the mind, by, for example, the same likes and dislikes. If the intellect is able to, question, how is it that I have picked up these likes and dislikes? Likes for sweet, eating sweet. At young age, eating sweets is fine, but as you become accustomed to it, then over a period of time, in adulthood or in later stages in life, when you become habituated, then it becomes difficult to stop that habit. So the mind first has to be aware that I am eating sweets. Eating sweets doesn't mean just that one or two. That uncontrolled, insatiable nature to, have that sweet. So, what can be done here? The intellect is alert, is aware, and then channelizing that, okay, only when I complete this task, I will have a couple of sweets. It's like a bargain. If the mind is not cooperating, then that day you forego that sweet. The same thing we do with the child also. That's how you can channelize the mind, the likes and dislikes here. Then worry and anxiety, continuously worried about what has happened in the past and what is going to happen in the future. The mind is not in the present. Like a pendulum moving continuously. So all these factors have to be analyzed properly. And then if you channelize the mind towards a higher purpose, a goal, then that worry and anxiety to some extent reduces, because the mind is given a task here, the purpose to achieve. So to some extent the mind is not worried of the past, anxious of the future result. You can't attain all this overnight. Over a long period of time, the mind has to be trained. Even the flexibility of the body takes, to get that body into the flexible shape, it takes a long time. If you're talking about the flexibility of the mind and intellect, it will take more time. So that allowance have to be given. You can't expect results overnight. You can't overdo also. So coming back here, the attachment. A person wants a particular object. Initially the object of desire has not reached the person. Then we can't call that as an attachment there. You call that as a desire to possess that object. When the desire is intense, very strong, then that object of desire does not reach the person. You get attached to that desire, but you don't work towards attainment of that desire. Still the object of desire is away. Then once you drop that attachment towards that very desire to possess that object, believe me, because of this effort, no, I'm not going to run behind this. I'll give an example, my personal example. Then the object of desire reaches you. Many years back, I wanted to go to the Himalayas. The desire was there to go to Himalayas just to visit the place. Himalayas doesn't mean, the Chardham, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri. It did not be that. Even to the extent of Rishikesh or Haridwar, or even there also. It was not materializing. So when I was there in Vedanta Academy, the thought was very, very much there. And even when I moved to Hyderabad, where I conduct the classes, etc., the thought was there. So from Vedanta Academy, the alumni of Vedanta Academy, we are stationed at Ananda Spa, which is at the foothills of Rishikesh. The place called Narendra Nagar. So I used to, book the tickets to visit, any of these places. Not Ananda Spa, other places like Rishikesh or some other place. Believe me, in the last minute something will happen and the whole program will get cancelled. So this is happening for the past, for over 2 years or 3 years. Still, the thought is there, dormant in me. The desire to go to Himalayas. But I was also trying to educate myself. I am only attached to the desire to go to the Himalayas. Therefore, I have to drop the thought to go to Himalayas. Only then it will materialize. So I was trying to educate myself like that. And I was doing it. And a time came when I completely dropped that very thought of going to the Himalayas. Believe me, in my inbox from Vedanta Academy, a mail came, Jay, would you be interested to go to Ananda Spa, to stay there for 3 months, to conduct Vedanta classes? When I dropped that idea to, go to, when I dropped that very desire to go to Himalayas, then the point here is, I dropped it. Therefore, the object of desire to be in Himalayas, not just for a week or 10 days, for 3 full months. This is what I'm talking about. I'm sure all those who are watching this video, you will have a story to narrate yourself. The child is longing for, an eraser, a pencil, a sharpener, even that object, a gross object, a petty object, is attained because desire is there, but that attachment towards the desire should not be there. Only then that object of desire will reach a person here. This is the law. As Swami Ramatirtha says, attach, you lose it. And if detach, you gain. Once that object of desire reaches you, how that object of desire is retained? When a person has put in a lot of effort to get that object of desire, then suddenly a thought comes, now this object of desire is mine. That I-ness and mine-ness comes into picture, comes into play. The moment that person has that selfishness, then whatever that possession is taken away. Meaning, when that object of desire has reached the person, then that person's understanding should be, knowledge should be, yes, I have paid the price, therefore this object of desire has come to me, but this is not my own property. I should not misuse this. Then the person again gets attached to that object of desire. Here that word attachment is used to that object, not the desire here. Because the desire is dropped, the object has come to the person, greets the person. Now, when this person here attaches to that object, that commodity, the place, the environment for that matter, we will extend the same principle to beings also. Principle is the same, whether it is an object or a being. Then as the person has developed this thought, this object is mine, I alone should possess this, I alone should enjoy this, then again the person gets attached to that object. Intellect is not conscious of, that knowledge is not there, that this object any moment can be taken away. And by friction, this object is taken away. It is a law. Nobody can stop this. So the person works for, power, status, or a position. For a long time, the object of desire, is eluding the person. That a person is attached to the desire to possess that power or that status or that position. When that person turns away from that desire, the object, that power, status or that position is reached. And how the person retains this power, status and position. These are all classic examples of, see people, the political leaders or the business leaders outside. The law is functioning. There's nothing personal here. So when you get attached to that chair, you get attached to that position, that status, that power, then it is taken away. Right from childhood, we are attached to all the objects in the external world. So all that we are trying to say here is, the scripture is trying to guide us, help us here is, you possess whatever you want to possess it. But that awareness has to be there that it is not the be all and end all of life. As long as you possess it, you enjoy it. But if it is any moment, it can be taken away. It is something like this. I'll give this example and then we can conclude the session here. A person has given, a fully paid house. One of your friend, fully furnished house, and he hands over the key to you and he says, I'm going abroad. I don't know when I'll be back. Till then you maintain this house. If you want, you can live whatever way you want, you can use it. So he hands over the key. What will be the thought of this person here? Yes, this key is given to me, handed over to me. This house does not belong to me. I have not paid for this house. This is my friend's house. So this is not my property. This is not my possession. The initial few days, weeks, months, this is the thought. And then you are in touch with that person there. He's corresponding with you over mail and all that. And then he writes, I'm not coming for 1 year, I'm not coming for 5 years, something like that. In between, there is no communication. You are engrossed in your work, he or she, they are engrossed in their work. The thought that this house is not mine slowly becomes, since the person is not communicated with you, you have forgotten that this is not your house. The thought sets in that anyway he is not going to come, let me occupy and let me enjoy. Anyway, this is my friend's house. And you have communicated saying that yes, you are taking, you are moving into that house and etc. A time comes where a long period of time has elapsed. A time comes where the thought that this is not my house becomes this is my house. That feeling comes in. And you have completely forgotten that this belongs to someone else. and you start misusing the place. Misusing doesn't mean in the wrong way. The thought has completely seeped in, has settled down. It's like dirt settling down in water tank. It has completely settled down that this is my house. The moment that attachment has come in, this is my house, that person walks in. And this is how the law works. He asks for the key. It is a heartbreak for you, because you have taken that idea that this is not my house to this is my, this is not my house to this is my house. Not my house to my house. That selfishness, that attachment. So beautifully Swamiji has given that equation here. What is this concept of attachment in terms of selfishness and pure love? He's talking about, there is love only when there is no selfishness. So then, whatever that object is, if you remove that selfishness from that object, then it is pure love. So this concept of attachment is object plus selfishness is attachment. That is, object here means the love towards that object. The same principle holds good for human beings also. You long for, the lady love, attached to the desire to attain that lady love. The object here being the lady is not interested. Then you drop that thought, I'm not going to entertain this. The moment you drop it, drop the thought, then the object of desire, the lady love, reaches you, maybe in terms of marriage. Then you start entertaining the thought, like how you entertain the thought for this is my object, this is my being here. Attachment, selfishness sets in, then friction arises, the object of desire is taken away in the form of divorce or fighting or constant friction or whatever it is. The law is the same. That understanding is, yes, I have married this person. That doesn't mean that I can own this person. I have to attach myself. I have my space, she has her space. Then there will not be any problem. The same thing holds good with parents and children. Parents all the time riding on the child's back. This is my child, this is my girl, this is my son. And the same principle is applied by the children also. This is my room, etc. So, to conclude here, what we are trying to learn is that you don't have to worry about likes and dislikes and all that. So, the effects have to be studied, and then what is very important here is you analyze these likes and dislikes, worry and anxiety, that how harmful it is. So to what extent you have to entertain them. And then, it can be entertained to that extent that it is not affecting your day-to-day activities. Therefore, you must develop your thinking to keep them at your control. The likes and dislikes, worry and anxiety, the play of attachment. You be with that object, with that thought that even this shall pass away. Then the object of desire will be with you, and you are not indulging in it. So all these points are beautifully explained in The Fall of Human Intellect. Those interested can pick up the book, and it explains the fundamentals of Vedanta. There is no word of Vedanta in the book. But if anybody wants to pick up Vedanta, if anybody wants to pick up the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad, the basics are not explained in the Upanishads. The basics are not explained in Bhagavad Gita. The basics are beautifully explained: who a human being is, what mind is, what intellect is, what intelligence is. It is explained in the fall of human intellect. Once the basics are thorough, a person has grasped the fundamentals, then you yourself can pick up subtler texts like Bhajagovindam, Atma Bodha, the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, and make meaning out of it. So, at this point of time, I would like to convey that we are ending, coming towards 2015. Every year people take vows. I will give up smoking, I will give up, drinking, I will give up that habit, I will give up this habit. The desire is very powerful, and this is what we are learning here, the likes and dislikes, attachment, etc. What we are supposed to do is make a note of all these things. What is really bothering you? You have been a victim of something. Then one desire after another, you pick it up. And that resolution that you are supposed to take this 2016 will be, I am not interested in external conquest. Let me pick up one desire and then work over it. If you have won over one likes and dislikes, if you have won over your anger, if you have won over your jealousy, that is the greatest victory you can ever have. And this is far greater, powerful than external victory. Running after external objects. So the vow that you can take is, this 2016 I will work towards conquering my anger. This 2016 I will be conquering my greed, etc. Life will be meaningful, worthwhile living. So when we are talking about likes and dislikes, worry, anxiety, attachment and motivations and all that, then motivating factors Kanchana and Kamini. If we have a purpose, and all these factors which are the negative factors, if they are beautifully channelized, then you get tremendous power. So this will be my New Year greetings. Hari Om, everyone. We'll meet again.